In the annals of true crime, some discoveries stand out not just for their tragic nature, but for the bizarre circumstances surrounding them. Places that should never conceal death sometimes become unintended tombs. Today we'll explore 5 chilling tales of human remains found in the most unexpected locations. Stories that will make you look twice at ordinary places, wondering what secrets they might hold. From water tanks to furniture, walls to time capsules, these aren't fictional horror stories, but real cases that continue to haunt investigators and fascinate the public. Join me as we uncover these disturbing tales of bodies found where no one should ever rest. In 2013, guests at Los Angeles Cecil Hotel complained about discolored, foul-tasting water flowing from their taps. Maintenance staff made a horrifying discovery when they checked the rooftop water tank: the decomposing body of 21-year-old Canadian student Elisa Lam. She had been missing for 3 weeks before her body was found floating in the tank that supplied water to the entire hotel. What makes this case particularly disturbing is the security footage released by police showing Lam's last known movements. The video captured her in the hotel elevator exhibiting bizarre behavior, pressing multiple buttons, peering out cautiously, and making strange hand gestures as if communicating with someone unseen. How she accessed the locked rooftop and climbed into the water tank remains mysterious. Though her death was officially ruled an accidental drowning related to her bipolar disorder, many questions remain unanswered. Most disturbing of all, hotel guests had been unknowingly consuming and bathing in water contaminated by her decomposing remains for weeks. As drought caused Nevada's Lake Mead to recede to historic low levels in May 2022, the receding waters revealed a chilling time capsule of crime. Boaters spotted a rusted metal barrel containing human skeletal remains, estimated to have been submerged since the late 1970s or early 1980s. Forensic analysis revealed the victim was a male who died from a gunshot wound, likely in his 40s when murdered. The barrel location and time frame have led investigators to connect the killing to Las Vegas mob activity during that era. The victim was wearing clothes and shoes available at Kmart in the late 70s, helping establish the timeline. As water levels continued to drop, more remains emerged from Lake Mead's depths. At least 5 additional sets of human remains were discovered in the months that followed. The drought essentially exposed a watery graveyard, revealing decades-old secrets. The investigation remains active, with investigators using advanced DNA techniques to identify the barrel victim. Likely a mob hit that someone thought would stay hidden forever beneath the vast reservoir's waters. In 2018, at a charity shop in Wales, UK, volunteers made a ghastly discovery inside a donated sofa. While examining the furniture, they found mummified human remains hidden inside the cushions. Police investigation revealed these were the remains of Stanley Hopkins, a 71-year-old man who had gone missing 3 years earlier. The sofa had been donated by the family of Hopkins' former housemate, Alan Derrick. As investigators pieced together the story, they discovered that Derrick had hidden Hopkins' body after he died naturally, continuing to collect and cash his pension checks for years. Derrick maintained he found Hopkins dead, but panicked because they had an argument the night before, fearing he would be blamed for the death. He wrapped the body in plastic, stuffed it into the sofa, and continued living in the same house for years with the corpse-filled furniture. When Derrick later moved to a nursing home, his unwitting family donated the sofa to charity. Derrick was ultimately sentenced to 2 years in prison for preventing a proper burial and fraud. Perhaps most disturbing was his admission that he would occasionally sit on the sofa while watching television, knowing his dead friend was inside. In 2006, renovation workers made a macabre discovery in a Paris apartment when they broke through a wall to find the mummified remains of Jean-Paul Demoury, who had been missing for 20 years. The body was sealed inside a makeshift tomb constructed within the wall of his own apartment. Investigation revealed that Demoury, an eccentric recluse in his 50s, had disappeared without a trace in 1986. The apartment had changed ownership twice since his disappearance, with new residents unaware they were living just inches away from a corpse. Forensic examination determined DeMaury had been murdered, bludgeoned, and then placed in the wall while apartment renovations were underway. The case took an even more bizarre turn when investigators learned that the contractor who renovated the apartment in 1986 was DeMaury's cousin, who had inherited the property after reporting him missing. The cousin had long since died, but his diary was discovered, containing cryptic references to sealing away a problem forever. Police concluded he had murdered DeMaury for the valuable Paris property, literally building a tomb around his victim inside the very apartment that had become the motive for murder. When new homeowners in Winnipeg, Canada, began renovating their backyard in 2002, they unearthed a chilling remnant of the past, a 1950s refrigerator buried beneath a concrete patio. Inside was the perfectly preserved body of Mary Sullivan, who had disappeared in 1965. Sullivan, a 37-year-old mother of 3, was last seen alive by her husband Robert, who had reported her missing and claimed she had abandoned the family. The case went cold for decades until her accidental discovery. Forensic analysis revealed she had been strangled and then placed in the refrigerator, likely within hours of her reported disappearance. The home's ownership records quickly led investigators to Robert Sullivan, who had sold the property and moved away just months after reporting his wife missing. When confronted, the then 78-year-old Robert confessed to killing Mary during an argument and concealing her body in the refrigerator before pouring the patio concrete over it. Most disturbing was learning that for several weeks before burying the refrigerator, he had kept his wife's body hidden in plain sight, telling curious children the sealed appliance in the garage was a time capsule not to be opened. Sullivan was convicted of murder 37 years after committing the crime, dying in prison just 2 years into his sentence. These 5 chilling tales remind us that sometimes the dead are found in the most unexpected places, their final resting spots as mysterious as the circumstances of their deaths. From hotel water tanks to furniture, walls to buried appliances, these discoveries continue to haunt our collective imagination. If you found these true stories fascinating, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more glimpses into the darker side of human experience. Hit the like button if you want to see more true crime content, and leave a comment below sharing which of these cases you found most disturbing. Remember, sometimes the strangest stories aren't fiction, they're the unsettling reality hiding just beneath the surface of our everyday world.